unlike other, we'll say, movies you'd figure are for the kids, and they throw stuff in there to make the adults not hate their time when they brought their kids to a kids movie, I think this is inverted. I think, well, okay, let's just keep the kids happy. We're serving the generation-spanning fans over all this time that have just spent so much of their life in this world. You've seen the movie, now let's talk about it. This is the Untitled Film Project Podcast. The Super Mario Galaxy movie is in theaters. Mario goes way beyond the Mushroom Kingdom. We're going to talk about it. And we'll ask the big question.
This week's big question is, what is your favorite group of movie siblings? Mario, Luigi, brothers, so they say.
Conspiracy theorists go over here.
Go back in film history. What are your favorite movie siblings? Sorry.
All right, let's get initial impressions. First takes on the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Justin Bradford.
This is ADHD in animation form.
Mm-hmm.
Like it truly is. Like they pack so much into 90 minutes that it is nonstop. Like this movie's going basically 100 miles an hour after they discover Yoshi. It is just flying along. My initial real take, though, is that this is meant to be simply entertaining. There's no other, the plot is barely there. There's barely any reason for it. It is, we are going to cram with nostalgia and video game references. And you know what? For what it is, that's okay. Because there's a time and a place for movies like this. And it is going to make a ton of money. It is going to do extremely well when it comes to streaming. And it's just one of those things that I think this is a movie that is difficult for critics. I think this is difficult for, because it depends on how you want to place this movie in terms of, are you looking at it as true art in film? You're looking at it as it meant to be just entertaining? And I know we're going to dive deeper into all of that, but for me, it's fine for what it is. I don't want to overly bash something, but I was entertained in the moment. And if it's on the TV, sure, I'll probably let it keep playing. And I think people that even played the games more are going to appreciate some of the references and the characters. But it is just nonstop action. And there is a post-credit and there's a mid-credit scene. So if you're really curious and interested, make sure you stay for that.
Stick around.
Yeah.
For me, like, picture somebody that you've known in your life who's really boring, but they're a pretty good dancer. Okay? And they're dancing in front of you and you're interested. But kind of the second they stop dancing, they're not interesting anymore. And I feel like this movie is visually very interesting, and there's so much packed into it that they're not going to take a chance on any kind of huge story arc or exploration of character. It's just keep it simple, serve what people came to get, and then when it's over, everybody's happy.
Okay. This is eye candy. There's a lot of standing around looking at the pretty thing. Okay. And the visuals are so great. Animation is on point. They kind of just rely on those elements, kind of like Jim and Bradford both said, right? Like it's actually like candy, literally, right? Like there's no nutritional value in candy. You just go, you want a Butterfinger, you want a Sour Patch Kid,
just real fruit juice.
You want you want jelly beans, whatever it is. You want candy because it's fun. That's really the only reason why you would ever want candy. Why else have it, right? There's zero value beyond fun. Super Mario Galaxy movie is fun, and there is zero value beyond that.
All right, let's go a little deeper on the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Let's talk about the animation, because I think we can all agree this is a pretty good-looking movie.
Yeah, it truly is. And there's different animation styles
mixed in.
And that I do appreciate that, just from like the puppet scene with Bowser, and then you have when the stars are coming in, you have so many different stylizations. You even have some takes on what do we see Into the Spider-Verse. There's so many different animation styles. So I do appreciate the beauty of the film. It is pretty to look at. It's pretty candy.
It was at some points they're riding cycles through the desert, and it looked photorealistic.
Yeah.
Like, wait.
The grass.
Did this all of a sudden become live action?
Right. There were points where the grass, I was like, oh, wait, no, okay, animation. It was that real, which you're not expecting out of a video game movie like this, because the first one didn't really give us that. It would very much look like video game animation.
Well, it looked like an Illumination product, though. Minions.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
But I feel like there's some better detailing.
For sure. I'm just saying, like, it's, I expect a high level of animation because the minions are so, it's, it doesn't look animated.
This was the right studio to make a Mario movie.
That's better.
If that helps.
Yeah, absolutely
prove your
does.
point.
Yes.
Yeah. So we've got a loaded cast again. Everybody does a serviceable job. I think
sure.
The problem is, like, don't get in the way, right?
Right.
So as long as you can read the lines.
Well, and I think just if we were going to dive deep, I know when people are like, you're really diving deep into Super Mario Galaxy.
That's okay.
We wouldn't have a show if we didn't.
Right.
I like the casting of some new characters. Well, first of all, we've talked about it before with the Super Mario Brothers movie, right? Jack Black is perfect for Bowser.
Of course.
Like,
right.
Encapsulation of that. Chris Pratt, one way or not, whatever. I will say I do like Brie Larson more on the fact that you can tell she plays the video games. She has knowledge about these worlds, and she took it seriously. And that's just based on the press tour. But even then, she knows game. And that means a lot to a character. And yes, it's just voicing Rosalina in the Super Mario Galaxy movie, but she took it seriously. And even adding Josh Safdie also took things seriously in that the way he was trying to voice Bowser Jr. And I like seeing this at the press junket of the new characters or some of the additional side characters as well that are supporting, because it feels like when you're going to expand the universe, you got to do it right, not just throwing a name in there to throw a name in there. They have to be able to do the voice properly.
I thought bringing in Glenn Powell.
Oh, yes.
Perfect. It works.
It fits.
He's got that charm.
He's a flyboy.
Yeah. He's Han Solo.
Yes, he is.
There were many references to Star Wars in this movie, like
without saying it, because it's an Illumination product, not a
right, just enough to not get sued.
Yeah.
Well,
right?
while we're on the Star Fox thing, obviously everyone's like, they got to do the barrel roll line, right? They got to do the barrel roll line, and they did it multiple times. But finally, we're at the final battle. Like, do a barrel roll! Like, thank you. Been waiting for it the whole time.
That's for people that know what that means. Yeah. People like me who have played Star Fox and don't recall it because it was so long ago, and I wasn't like deep into it. I just thought it was a fun piece of dialogue, which I thought was awesome, because that's what Easter eggs should be. Easter eggs should be, if you don't know, who cares? And if you do know, you're like, yay! It's
pretty much.
If you know, you're like, okay, now I can have a cigarette. Yeah. That was so satisfying.
Well, it's just like when they're in like the transportation hub, right? And it's all these characters. And there's some that obviously I didn't recognize because they're from newer games.
Right.
But there are plenty where I'm like, oh, I remember that from 1992. Playing these games. So it's chock full of nostalgia, because you think about the Mario world and how many characters in video games there have been. If someone's going to find an appeal or somebody they recognize as a character.
Since 1985.
Yeah.
But is it necessary?
No,
I don't mean like, it wouldn't be good. I'm not saying that. I just mean like, for example, like in Super Mario Brothers on the NES, the NES, when I played back in the day, in the second level, there was a little squid fish that would just go up and down. And, and there was a squid fish in the casino scene. He was part of the light. So like, it was like, okay, well, this is kind of a cool touch, but I specifically read something, I think on Discussing Film had something where they like, we tried to put everything in there. So there's Easter eggs in there for everybody. And I'm like, I don't know if that's smart.
Well, I will say what I appreciated even more in this one, though, was when they were going through the security system, and it was literally the Bowser Castle video game scenes from there. I was like, you've got to be like, I was laughing. Other people, the adults were laughing because they appreciated the thought process and the meta-ness.
That's how you do it.
Yes. And that's like, this is funny. This is creative, because the view that the Bowsers are seeing is the video game, and it's real life. What's actually happening to these characters. I appreciate that a lot. Like, that was for the adults. Absolutely.
I'm going to say that this, unlike other will say movies you figure are for the kids, and they throw stuff in there to make the adults not hate their time when they brought their kids to a kids movie. I think this is inverted. I think, well, okay, let's just keep the kids happy. We're serving the generation spanning fans over all this time that have just spent so much of their life in this world.
That I see that.
Yeah, I can see that. Now, with that, if there's something that I can say disappointed me, it was how, I don't want to say rushed, but the introduction of Yoshi was interesting. It was all like an all of a sudden, and there wasn't like a there to it.
I'm okay with it.
But, and again, this is definitely coming off as nitpicky because they tease it at the end of the first one, right? And then all of a sudden it's like, Yoshi. Right? He's just there. He was in a pipe. Like there wasn't more to it. It's like we have to bring him in. Let's just do it in the first few minutes and boom, he's there.
Well, this goes back to what I was saying, which is it really smart to like throw all the kitchen sink into this movie
when there's going to be another one again, probably.
Right. Like, because it's like that. It's like there didn't seem to be any rhyme or reason for most of this stuff. It was just like, oh, we traveled to this world and here's the metal Bowser or whatever it is, right? So it's like, oh, okay. And then Yoshi in a pipe. Like, okay, it's a pipe and check that box. Now we can move on. We got Yoshi in here. I don't think there was any thought to that. It was just more of...
Well, and if the first one made so much money, this one's obviously going to make money. They know it. Like they already know. You could do enough studies to know it's going to make money. You don't have to skip step 2 and go to step 3 right off the bat. And that, if anything, again, diving in too deep when we don't really need to, you can do a step 2 because you're world building here, and that's what was a little bit missing. They did more world building in the first one because you have to. You're establishing it, right?
Right. This one is
missing a piece.
I think a parade of recognizable characters. Who cares? Just have them fling the door open and walk in like Kramer in Seinfeld. It doesn't matter. We just want to see them, right?
And
we just want to applaud and do it about every 7 to 8 seconds. Give us those little dopamine hits along the way, and you know,
pretty much
plot is almost a nuisance.
The only backstory we really got was Peach and her connection to Rosalina, and then even more minor, Bowser and Bowser Jr. Through a puppet show. That's really it. Right. We got a little bit of Peach and her connection to Rosalina, and that's it. Other than that, it was a video game, which is fine. But it was a Super Mario Bros. Video game. That's what this movie was. You're playing the video game the entire time.
And it's called for here, as opposed to The Rock in, what was the...
Jumanji?
No, the Black Adam.
Oh, gosh.
Where it's not supposed to be a video game, but it looked like the cutscene to a video game the whole movie.
And the exposition was definitely there, I'll tell you that.
All right, tell me, when did you laugh in this movie? Particular instances.
Man.
I did laugh at Bowser saying, you know, wow, you really grew up while I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, that was good.
Got an audible laugh from my audience at the theater.
I don't know if I laughed as much, but I had a smile on my face the whole time.
Okay.
So it's a little bit different. I watched it with joy in my heart, but I don't know if it was upright hilarious. There were a couple moments, of course, right? That was a good line. And you know, directors Aaron Horvath and Michael Jelinek, they've done Teen Titans Go, which is a hilariously smart show, even though it poses as a dumb show, right? Like they've done some really good stuff before. So there's definitely funny lines in here. They did the first Super Mario World movie, but I don't know if there's anything that stands out, but I can say that I had a smile on my face the entire time.
Yeah. It was a good popcorn movie for me.
One of the times I laughed, but as soon as I laughed, I'm like, oh my God, you borrowed that. And that would be the robot at like the help desk.
Oh, yes. That
where he's
was
like,
fun.
right over. And I'm like, okay, you're the sloth from the original Zootopia at the DMV.
Flash.
But it's still funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was fun. I don't remember any certain lines. It was just moments, and it really was the video game part for me is when they were going through security. And any of those parts where they flashed to where it looked like a video game, it was like, okay, you are respecting your audience who grew up in the 80s and 90s playing your games.
Side-scrolling.
By having this, yes. By showing these pieces. That's what I appreciate, and that's what made me laugh and smile the most, were those moments where, again, it is they're not making a kids movie. And again, I don't want to demean kids movies. Kids movies can be great. Family movies can be awesome. Wild Robot was incredible. That's considered a kids movie, but that's art. I mean, Spider-Verse movies are meant to be family overall. They're amazing.
You can do it well.
So it's no degradation to kids movies, but this one you could tell for sure there was a good balance of what they're going for, who they wanted to entertain. It is Super Mario and Nintendo fans everywhere, and it's not just new age video games. They're going all the way back to the OG to make sure that they have reference to that, and that's what made me smile the most were those references.
Yeah, kind of reminded me of if you were going to Universal and they said, okay, there's going to be one thing that is, Mario Brothers, and everybody's going to go into this theater, and it's going to be like, smell-o-vision and 3D and all that stuff, and we just got to get everything in there that somebody would want to get, and they provided it.
I did think of one moment that really actually made me laugh more because I was wondering where this character was for the movie, and it's Lumily, who was the depressed star from the first one, remember? And always like, our death is upon us. All at the very end with Bowser Jr. in there, it's like, what was it? Hello, maggots.
Yeah.
And just like full, that made me laugh because that was a good comic relief of like sad depression, but delivering great one-liners. That's what stands out to me.
Here's where I think it's going to get interesting. I don't think we were that far apart. What are our scores for the Super Mario Galaxy movie?
Well, I said it was fun. There's no other sustenance to it, so I'm gonna stick with that. No nutritional value to that movie. Whereas the first one, I thought like if you didn't grow up playing the video, if grandparents who didn't grow up playing video games who took their grandchildren to the movie, I think they'd still have a good time.
This was world building.
Yeah, this one, I think they would have checked out 15 minutes in because they have no idea what's going on and everything's moving so fast and all that stuff. I think, I don't know if Chris Pratt had more than 9 total pages of dialogue in this entire movie. I'm not saying
short lines.
No, I'm not saying like, oh, Chris Pratt deserves. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like, go back to what I said the initial take. It was a lot of standing around looking at the pretty thing. I need to go back and see it instead of stopwatch to see how much time is allotted through the first half hour between dialogue. Usually it's like, Rosalina, what are you up to? I don't know. A letter has arrived. What happens? Oh no, what's happening? And then it's 7 minutes of just, oh God! It's just like noises.
Imagine them recording this.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, exactly. And then all of a sudden, there's another. And Luigi's like, "Are you okay, Mario? I'm fine, thanks. What's happening?" And then there's another 5 minutes of nothing. It's really weird.
We're babies. We rolled down a hill.
Yeah,
we were chased.
Really
we chased
odd.
somebody else.
Yeah, it's really odd. So,
one battle after another.
I'm gonna leave that alone. So it's just. It's fun and nothing more. If you are familiar, I'd say in the slightest, with the Super Mario world, the last 40 years of it, I think you'll have a decent time at this. If you're a diehard fan, I think you'll love every second of it. But as a movie, it's very vanilla. I'm going to go 5.5 for me.
Okay. I definitely enjoyed the first movie a lot more than this one. So I would say this movie is fan service. Every few seconds, show us something that makes me go, because the second it doesn't, there's really nothing that there's no bones on this movie at all.
Unless you're Bowser.
Right. But yeah, the bones in the desert. That was that was funny.
That was where I laughed. Sorry.
Was it?
Quick tangent. When they were on the roller coaster,
and
they went under the lava and came out. That was awesome. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So there's just not much to it, and that's what this movie was designed to do. So it does that very well. So has it done its intended purpose? Absolutely. I don't think if you haven't spent time in that world and you don't want to just like go back to that world and revisit these things, and that's not you're not going to get much from this movie. It was visually very interesting, but the second it's over, it's kind of forgotten, like fast food and candy that we've been talking about. So I'm going to give it a 5.0.
All right. Let's see how much we differ here, Brad.
What do you think?
I don't know.
You have any?
I think he's,
predict your score?
I think you're going to have
6.
the highest score.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't think it's by I don't think he's.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like I said before, this is a difficult one for critics, and I'm the one that always brings it up. This is not a movie where Rotten Tomatoes does any justice to anything, right?
Nope.
This is a movie where you're absolutely going to have a very big range between your critic score and your audience score, because this is meant to be a people-pleasing movie. It is not meant for critics. It's not meant for critics to critic, right? It's
Yeah.
What are you doing? I know you have a job. I know you have a job to do, and especially we're not paid to do this, but some people are paid to do this. They have to criticize movies. They have to write about it. They have to talk about it. But like,
And you have to put it somewhere
Right.
in the world of art. Where does it lie?
and this has got to be so difficult for some of them that respect the job they do, because they know this is meant to entertain. And it has a 42 right now in critic score. And I'm like, okay, is that fair? Maybe for the critics thing, but that's also what gives critics a bad name to a lot of the general public. Because they're like, dude, you're trashing a movie that's just meant to be entertaining and people pleasing, right?
In fairness, they can't then.
No, I know, yeah.
compensate, though.
And that's why I say it's got to be very difficult.
Yeah.
Right? Because this is even more difficult than a popcorn summer blockbuster movie like a Top Gun Maverick.
Mm-hmm.
This is even more difficult because this is a movie meant for certain people, which is a big group of people, right? Just to literally entertain them. And so I find it very funny when I see over what 50, it's a 50% difference in something. Because audiences overall are going to really enjoy their time because they're making a point to go to this movie for a reason.
Yeah.
They want to be entertained with Nintendo nostalgia. It accomplishes that goal.
Bring me
to
back.
a T, because they are throwing it in your face nonstop, tossing everything. And if you've played Mario Kart at all, you're seeing so many aspects of that and the characters you see in Mario Kart that there's some that I don't know, I wasn't familiar with because they're from newer games that I didn't grow up with. That's okay.
Right.
They introduce a character I'm not as familiar with. I've heard the names. I've played Mario Kart. I introduced to it. Star Fox, I grew up with that. That's awesome.
All about it, right?
Right? Do a barrel roll, please. And he does. So from the nostalgia side, I had a real fun time overall. The movie overall, from a movie perspective, that's okay. I mean,
yeah,
sure. I'll watch both of them by all means if I want to sometime just to turn it on, but I'm not going to super pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
It's not me sitting there like, oh, I can't wait to watch this again like I do for The Martian.
And you also
Or-
don't hate yourself while you're watching.
No, you
it.
don't.
Yeah.
You're not like, oh, why am I doing this? It's not if I had legs, I'd kick you. It's so
That in my bingo card this morning.
Yeah, I did not think that would come up in this episode.
No.
all that to say is overall, people are going to have a real fun time with it. It's not something memorable. It is candy. I think we hit all the right notes here in that we're not trashing at people at all. There are movies that deserve trashing.
Oh, yeah.
This is not necessarily deserved of trashing because this is capitalism to a T in a movie. That is what it is. It is built to make money, and this is going to make some money. All right. At that point, Gover's right. I'm going with a 6 because, yeah, I can't hate on it. It's not awful. It's fairly mid as a movie overall, but it is enjoyable enough that people are going to absolutely love it. And I will not yuck somebody's yum over liking this movie.
Right. You just wanted cotton candy next to the roller coaster. You didn't need a Michelin star restaurant.
Not today.
All right, this is going to be fun because I have no idea where this is going, and there's so much to draw from with today's big question.
The big question this week is who? Yeah, who? What did I say? What set of on-screen siblings are your favorite? Okay, so in the history of cinema, what siblings? Because Mario and Luigi are twins, right? So that counts and gives us the genesis of this question here today. So go back and think of your favorite movies of all time, and let's hear some of them. Let's go with Jim first, because I think he brought up the question to us, proposed it to us. So let's go with him.
Yeah, there's so many obvious answers. There's movies that actually have the word brothers in the title.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
And of? Oh, wait.
No, not those.
so I don't know. I just so I'm usually trying to go for the least obvious and maybe somewhat interesting thing that you haven't thought about. And I saw this movie for the first time maybe within the last year. It's a movie from the 90s. It's David and Jennifer, the brother and sister in Pleasantville.
Oh, that's a good pick.
There's a really good arc. Okay, so you've got Tobey Maguire and Reese Witherspoon as two siblings that hate each other. And by the time the movie's over, they've got each other's back. And there's something so satisfying about that. I mean, because if they're like, oh, yeah, we got each other's back right from there's an arc, right? And that movie, by the way, if you've never seen it, it's about, these kids in the 90s that all of a sudden are transported back to a 1950s sitcom. That's where they live. But they've got the knowledge of present day in their day, and it deals with censorship, and there's just so many things. This is such an underrated movie, and I think kind of forgotten. So I'm going to go with them.
That's good.
Bradford, what do you got?
Something completely different.
Good.
Mine would be the Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus.
They were on my list. I love that you
Winifred, Sarah, and Mary Sanderson. Absolutely love this movie. It is so much nostalgia for me growing up, obviously every Halloween. But I mean, to the point that we have named our robot vacuum Mary because she rides a vacuum in Hocus Pocus. But the Sanderson sisters, they're funny. Their interactions together are funny as well. There's nothing heartwarming about this. They bicker like sisters bicker.
But it's a delicious chemistry.
It's great chemistry. It's so fun at the peak of so many of their careers too.
Yeah.
So I'm going with the Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus.
I like that.
Okay. Well,
you must decide.
It's tough for me because I could go Luke and Leia. I could do these layups like that, right?
They kissed.
But I think
just like the Corleone brothers.
I think I'm gonna go.
What did I just say?
I don't know. Sorry, I'm just kind of.
You must decide.
I know.
He's paralyzed with indecision.
Did you touch my drum set?
That's actually exactly where I'm going. Actually,
yeah.
I'm gonna go with Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly and Step Brothers.
Yeah.
Just a hilarious chemistry between the two. The chemistry between the two guys actually makes the movie. You're like, well, yeah, of course. But I'm saying like Will Ferrell's funny on his own for the most part. John C. Reilly funny on his own. You put them separately though in other projects, you're kind of like, it's okay. It didn't really hit. Together, it's like fireworks. So, so because I am being pressured to not look at my movie library and make a choice, I'm going to say the first one that came to mind was Step Brothers, Will Ferrell, and John C. Reilly.
It's a good one.
Is there I talked about the brother and sister in Pleasantville, how they have this slow turning into being each other's, true brother, sister, love you. The transition is so fast in Step Brothers with one line.
Yes.
Did we just become best friends?
Yeah.
Yep. It is so satisfying.
My honorable mention, by the way, would be Megan and her human. Doesn't really count.
They're family.
I know.
Yeah.
Wow. Wasn't expecting that reference.
Technically counts.
Better than you. Megan one.
There's found families. I thought of the holdovers, right? So like, who's your family in that moment, right? So there's so many answers. Take us to where your mind went. Let us know either in the comments if you're watching this episode, if you're listening to the podcast, you can hit us up on socials. My handle is Jim Chandler now.
It's Gover time.
JBB Journeys.
Oh my God. I just thought of something I should have said.
Oh, well, you can say it now.
Sinners.
It's not too late.
Sinners, Smoke and Stack.
Oh, yeah.
If I just took yours, I apologize, but I just now thought of that.
But I think a lot of us were thinking like, oh, let's go way back.
But we don't have to. They cousins.
Thank you for listening to the Untitled Film Project Podcast. To support the show, please rate, review, follow, and subscribe. Original music by Jeremy Schwartz. Special thanks to the Music City Film Critics Association. Editing and post-production by Jeremy K. Gover. Voiceover by Chad Bennett.